many are called, but few are called chosen. But few are called chosen. But few are called chosen.
This is Paul KERSEY. This is the story of a man who decided to clean up the most violent town in the world.
I said turn around. Hand me the money.
He begins where all the super cops leave off. Call him a mad vigilante. Call him a hero. Either way, he's always on target. Either way, he's always on target. Either way, he's always on target.
We want you to get out of New York. Permanently. We want you to get out of New York. Permanently.
Never make a death wish. Because a death wish always comes true. A death wish always comes true. A death wish always comes true. Either way, he's always on target.
I want to give all the praises and the honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Recha HaKwadash, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect. Peace to the elect. Peace to the fellow laborers and the families that's following in sincerity. Let me go in this video here. I want to go in this video here with, I've been seeing this guy here for quite a bit, okay? And I said, well, you know, I knew who Paul KERSEY was according to the Charles. I guess he's the vigilante or whatever. So anybody know the story of a Death Wish, Charles Bronson? He's an actor who took on the character of a vigilante of New York, okay? And it's kind of crazy because this is up in New York, okay? But the way I see it, we're the real vigilantes, okay? And the word vigilante comes from vigilant, okay? Like when the scripture says, be vigilant because your adversary, the devil, seeketh who he may devour. Okay, this word vigilante is a member of a volunteer committee organized to suppress and punish crime, okay? So this is why a word can change just by putting the E on it. But when you go to the actual word vigilant, let me go to the etymology of this word vigilant, okay? And let's see what it says. Because it's important to know what these words mean. Of course, it goes to the word vigilant. In the etymology, it says watchful, anxious, careful. Okay, present participle of vigilare, to watch, to keep awake, not to sleep. Be watchful, from vigil, watchful, awake. Okay, so you know, I just wanted to go in there because it's interesting that this guy used Paul KERSEY. Okay, so if we go to his page, okay, which I'll click on now, there's nothing there. So who is he watching? I mean, he can claim to be a vigilante, hiding behind the scenes, come out and attack, but you have to have something to give to the people. You have to have something to show for your works. If they believe what you're saying, then you got to show them the right way. Okay? Let's go to Ezekiel 3:17. Okay, I just wanted to make a quick video out of that. I thought it was interesting. Son of man, I made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel, or vigilant unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the words at my mouth and give them warning. Okay? So let's go to the comment that he left on Apostle Tahar's page. Okay? It says, it's going to be known at the end of the day when everything is said. Okay, this is going to the mark of the beast. Okay, because Apostle Tahar was saying, it's going to be known that we have the truth, and that great millstone is the one pushing the truth, especially on the mark of the beast, which that's to be so. If we left it up to Paul Kersey and you go to his page, there's no information. Okay, so this guy obviously was with the maybe GMS. I mean, I've people who don't even follow our doctrine don't do this. Okay, so it had to be somebody who was once a part of the doctrine, and they bugged out. See what bugging out can do to you? I mean, it's like having a relationship with a woman, and you break up, and this woman just constantly at your door stalking you. You don't want to deal with it no more, but she keep being right there, okay? Anyway, everything said and done that GMS was pushing the mark of the beast. Okay. And then he says, now that it's very egotistical, he said, now that's a very egotistical statement, and does it really matter? Well, absolutely, yes, it does matter. Because as Israelites, okay, there's a standard set to the sheep. There's an order set up to the sheep that people are to watch. Okay, so it does matter. If you don't teach it, then who's going to know? Who's going to know? I'm sure there's some Christians that push it too. They teach that. But the salvation is for the Israelites. So he says, now that's a very egotistical statement, and does it really matter? Absolutely, because if it wasn't for us, nobody would know. HODC does push it. I knew they pushed it a while back. Well, let me say they taught it. I don't say they didn't push it. They taught it. He goes on to say, when Noah preached about the flood that was to come, and the people saw that first drop of rain, I highly doubt he had an egotistical mindset. He says, see, if it was Noah that taught about the rain, shaking my head, Tahar, the main thing of it is you better not take it. See, now he's jumping. So let's go back to what he said about Noah. Okay, it's not about ego. Okay, whether he feels Apostle Tahar was being egotistical, that's not the point. The point of the matter is the prophecy. Okay, so Noah was teaching prophecy. All the prophets taught prophecy, and that's what's matter. Okay, that's what really matters. Okay, not what your feeling is towards what a man says and how he thinks. It's about what's laid out. And if he doesn't lay that out, then how is the people supposed to know? He goes on to say, Tahar, the main thing of it is you better not take it. Well, what he's trying to tell you is not him himself, but everyone else. He's set up in a position to teach. See, this thing is like, I wouldn't say like the media, okay, news media. We tell the truth. If the media never came out and brought this COVID thing out, okay, people would have a different outlook on life and as you know it, okay? But because they hyped this thing up and they changed everything about it, okay, and they said, your job may be shut down. If it really wasn't for the somebody speaking on it, right? You wouldn't know if your job was open or not. You would go there and it'd be shut and they'll just send your ass home. So you need a outlet. You need somebody to blow the trumpet, okay? And let the people know what's going on, okay? He says, I know I won't. He says, I know I won't. See, now that's an egotistical statement. How do you know? Well, when we go, I'm going to just quote it, I believe. I think it's Jeremiah 32 and 18. Okay. Let me see. Well, you know what? I'll get it real quick. And also Proverbs 20. Okay. I think it's Jeremiah 10
Either way, he's always
and 23.
on target.
It says, "Oh Lord, I know that the way of man is not in himself. It is not in man that walketh to direct his steps." Okay. So you, through the Spirit, will say, I understand what he's saying. Through the Spirit, he'll say, "Hey, I'm not going to take that chip," or we'll say, "Hey, I'm not going to take that vaccine." But he's speaking egotistical here. See, now when we hear one of us say it, we understand what we mean. But this man is being egotistical. Okay. He says, he said, "I am willing to die than to take it," and that's a good spirit to have. But at the end of the day, you need to chill. You're too proud and very egotistical. So this is a personal matter that he has. So I'm here just to go into the what's being said, and as far as the truth, for truth's sake. I can't really get caught up in this guy's emotions or how he feels estrayed from an apostle, and maybe he was doing it to be seen of an apostle, and when he lost his way, he got plenty pissed off. So this is as I read this comment, I just decided to read it. Okay, it's just a personal thing that he has, and I guess apostles deal with all that stuff on different levels. I just wanted to bring the point out that Paul KERSEY, okay, would have been the Great Millstone would have more so represented Paul KERSEY, okay, the vigilante, so to speak, vigilant, the vigilant. Let me say that, who telling people that they have a death wish if they don't get right, and that's just what it is. We're the true vigilantes, telling you, which means watchmen, telling you to get right, or the Most High is going to take you out. Okay, it's just our job. So I just wanted to touch on that. That was just ironic that this man pulled up Paul KERSEY. I kind of knew what that was. I just left it alone, and I said, wait a minute, Paul KERSEY, he had, he was so-called like a death angel, so to speak. But spiritually, we would kind of have that spirit like Paul KERSEY, be vigilant and to clean up the madness that's going on in Israel, man, as Israelites. Okay, that's why every time something comes up, we target it and we attack it, man, whether people like it or not. I seen the guy, I heard a guy who said they had a problem with me doing certain videos, and I said, well, that'll probably be my next video. At the end of the day, we have to, the prophecies don't stop, but scoffers don't either. Also, let me say false doctrines don't. You imagine if we decided to say, well, this guy's talking about magic mushrooms. Could you imagine if the brothers didn't jump on that? You imagine that? We got to keep this fight going, man, no matter what lot or position you're in. This thing is covered on all angles. You're not going to see all of us do the exact same thing, and we are doing the exact same thing, but different offices, We got different levels, okay? Like this man got different levels in his military. Brothers got different gifts. It's a balance. That's all I have on that. Shalom.